There you go.
Why are your settings so high?
So high.
Yeah. Hmm. That'll probably help your stream out a lot. Okay. Yeah, I think it's working.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. You might have seen I had my tech support come in earlier just to make sure we had sound this morning. So, do we have sound? Do we have sound? Yes, we have. We appear to have sound in from. I hope you guys can hear me. Anyway, today's class is titled "Let's Get Physical." I have a connection to this song. I don't know if you guys remember the Olivia Newton-John song "Let's Get Physical," but it was the #1 Billboard hit when I was born. So me and my friends played this game where it's like, let's listen to all the songs from that were the top hit from the day we were born. And it's almost like an astrology kind of thing where it's like, what was transpiring in the world of pop culture when you came into being, when you entered into this plane of existence. I like this. I like the song. I like the sentiment, and I'm feeling that desire to have a very physical practice today. So hopefully you're down for that ride. And so in that vein, I think we're going to start standing today. I am going to turn on my podcast recording as well. So if you don't have your mat out, here's a good chance to get it rolled out, get your props handy, and prepare for the ride. Okay, so here we go. As I said, we're going to start standing. So, stand with your feet hip-width distance apart, and we're going to take that classic mountain shape. So, take your feet hip-width distance, lift and spread your toes, and then place your toes down. See if you can see the mat between the spread of each toe. And let's start with the foundation, the connection to the earth, the ground. So feel the bottoms of your feet and notice where the distribution of your weight lies. So does one foot feel more grounded or heavier than the other? If so, maybe some gentle rocking subtly from side to side, to the front of the foot, to the back of the foot, from the inside edge of each foot to the outside edge. Get a well-distributed ground through the feet. And then from the earth, begin to engage the legs as though you're pulling tight stockings. Or imagine, I love there's this great scene in this movie, Dazed and Confused, where these girls or women are pulling on these really tight jeans, and then they have to get pliers to pull the zipper up because the jeans are so tight. So I love that image of like pulling this tightness up the legs so that the legs become energized and sturdy beneath you. So pull on those tight 1970s style jeans so that the kneecaps lift, the skin hugs to the muscle hugs to the bone, lifting into the front edge of your pelvis. The pelvic crest lifts as the tailbone lengthens down, extending back to the earth. And then everybody, let's shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, getting this length and awareness along the sides of the body, from the waistline to the armpits. And then we're going to roll the shoulders back and turn the palms forward. So as the shoulder blades connect to the back of the chest, the collarbones are pulled wide. And there's this opening and expression of the heart space. A confidence along with a vulnerability. Open the palms, spread the fingers, reach down through the fingers to draw the shoulders away from the ears and down the back so that the sides of the neck, the trapezius muscles lengthen. Tilt your chin parallel to the floor And then as you feel again that connection to the earth through the feet, grow up taller through the crown of the head. So think about pushing into the floor like you're a rocket ascending into the sky, pushing down through the earth and then extending through the crown of the head. And then you can close your eyes in this shape. And arrive. So many of us have been doing this practice for so long, and especially over the course of the last year, you've established your space for doing the practice, probably in your home. We meet here every week, every Monday, the same time, same place. So consider the how that work, how the habit of the practice has led you to this moment. So you might feel like you can tap into something in this moment that you might not have access to at in other spaces or other times of your week. So over time, we've blazed these trails. We've trodden these paths back to our awareness, back to our breath, back to the physical experience of our bodies in space. So one way that you might recognize that happening is just how the breath automatically might start to energize. We often start the practice with this calling forth of energy using the Ujjayi pranayama breathing technique. So recognize how that might just turn on automatically. And if it doesn't, start to consciously create that contraction at the back of the throat. Begin to direct breath in and out through the nostrils. We're going to start to coordinate movement with our deep breathing. As you inhale next, flutter your eyes open and sweep the arms overhead. Reach up as you look up, palms touch overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to gently bend the knees and flow the upper body forward, fingertips to the floor or to blocks in front of you. Knees might be gently bent. With your next inhale, come up halfway, fingertips to the shins, shoulders away from the ears, collarbones broaden, and then exhale, dive forward once again. Release the head, hands back to the block or the floor. Inhale, push through the feet as you gather hands overhead, rise up, grow tall. Exhale, push the palms down, and then gather the hands together at your heart. Inhale, arms sweep up, look up, reach up. Exhale, flow forward. Release the head, fingertips down. Inhale, come up halfway, fingertips to the shins, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, dive back into yourself. Inhale, circle the arms, look up. Exhale, push the palms down, stand tall with hands at heart center. Keep going. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to flow forward. Inhale, lift halfway, fingertips to the shins, shoulders on the back. Exhale and dive forward. Release the head, hands down. Inhale, circle the arms up, sweep up, reach up, look up, palms touch. Exhale, push the hands down, gather the hands together at heart center. One more time, just like this. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, flow forward, moving with the breath. Inhale, shoulders on the back, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, grow tall, push down, rise up. Exhale, push down with the hands and then palms together as collarbones broaden. Okay, inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms touch, cross the thumbs, grow tall. Exhale, upper body leans to the left, hips shift to the right. Inhale, center, and exhale, over to the right, hips lean left. Inhale, center, grow tall. One more round. Exhale, hips to the right, upper body leans left. Inhale, center. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Use your thumb to cup the base of the skull. Widen your elbows out. Legs are strong and supportive. Gentle bend in the knees. Turn the gaze up as you release the head back into the hands. So little baby back bend to begin. Now breathe into the chest. Each inhale, a drawing of energy into the body, an inner expansion, and then exhale, an outer expression, extending through the elbows, maybe releasing the head back as the heart floats skyward. Then inhale, bring the chest forward, elbows forward, head comes forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, flow forward with knees gently bent, fingertips to the mat or the block. Release the head and walk out your forward fold, bending one knee and then the other. Sending the hips perhaps gently from side to side as you release through the low back and wake up the backs of the legs. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, fingertips to the shins, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up, push down with the feet, reach up with the arms. Exhale, push down with the hands, palms together at heart center. And an invitation to bring the inner edges of the feet together, starting with the base of the big toes touching. And then spread the toes again. So now we're narrowing our base. That's going to create more challenge for the balance. Push down through the feet. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Cross the thumbs. Interlace the fingers and press the index finger and point the index fingers to the sky. Grow tall as you inhale. Exhale, upper body leans to the left, hips shift to the right. Push down through the right foot, tone the muscles of the legs so the kneecaps lift. Draw the left rib slightly forward, and then possibly start to turn the gaze up beyond the right tricep muscles. For me, I really find that brings a deeper connection, deeper sensation along the right side of the body. Soften the edges of the mouth. Keep breathing here. And then inhale, come on back to center, grow tall, and exhale, lean the upper body to the right. As the upper body shifts to the right, shift the hips to the left, and be mindful to ground down through the left foot. Use the right arm to gently pull the left side body long, and then experiment with turning the gaze up beyond the left tricep muscles towards the ceiling. And as you do so, you might consider softening the jaw, relaxing the edges of the mouth. Breathe consciousness and expansion, liberation along the left side of the body. Inhale, back through center. Look up. Look past the thumbs. And you might start to draw the arms back, biceps behind the ears, as though you're drawing a line with the index fingers along the ceiling towards the back wall. Re-energize the legs, ground through the feet, lengthen through the tailbone, lift from the back of the heart to the front of the heart. Lift the heart skyward. And then you might start to lean back. I like to release my head back. That just feels great to me. So if that feels good to you, do it. If it does not feel good to you, keep your head suspended. Look back, curl back, point back, opening up the front of the body, leaning back into the unknown. And then bring the chest forward, arms forward, head comes up last, and release the arms to your sides, palms together at heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up as you reach up. Exhale, gently bend your knees as you bring the fingertips to the floor or to blocks in front of you. Again, walk out the forward fold. Let the head hang forward as you bend the knees one at a time. Shift the hips side to side, releasing through the low back. And then keep the knees together, lift up onto the toes, sink your hips to your heels if that feels good for the knees, or, not bad. And do it a few times if you like. Okay. Lower the heels back down, folding forward. We're going to lift the heels and tuck the fingers underneath the heels so that the pinky fingers touch side by side. The thumbs wrap to the outsides of the heels, sandwiching the belly onto the thighs. And then we're going to start to straighten the legs. So push down with the feet as you pull up with the hands. So heels are pushing into the fingers. The fingers are pulling up on the heels. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Again, this idea of sandwiching your body. So pushing the belly into the thighs as the outer hips lift. Pulling the face towards the shins as the crown of the head extends down, as the shoulders pull up away from the ears. So notice this moment. What are you feeling? Where are you feeling? So I've been reading this book about the Yoga Sutras, and really taking a contemporary. The book is really taking a contemporary approach to these ancient teachings. And my point being here. What is my point being? My point being that the author is continuously referring to yoga as a scientific, as a science, that it was developed in this way, where I often talk about this idea of observation, that it was a practice of delving into the experience of the body. Let's stop doing this pose. Lift out of your heels, walk your fingertips forward, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips to the shins, lift halfway. And then exhale, walk your fingertips behind your heels and sit down into your imaginary chair. Weight in the heels, weight in the fingertips. So fingertips can either be alongside the feet, or if you can reach them back behind the heels, do.
And then round your spine, chin to chest, forehead towards or to the knees. Draw the sides of the waistline away from the thighs, creating more space between the vertebra along the back side of the body. So we have done these poses several times before. I know all of you out here have done this with me before. So how is it today? We are running these experiments. We are doing these different poses, observing and collecting the data of how our bodies and our minds change through the course of the practice. Now push your feet down, lift your hips up, walk your hands forward, fold deeply in. Inhale, lift halfway, shoulders on the back, collarbones broad. Exhale, dive forward, release the head. Inhale, sweep the arms out, up and overhead, reach up as your palms touch. Exhale, push the palms down and bring the hands together at heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gather the palms. Exhale, dive forward, fingertips to the floor in front of you. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders on the back. Exhale, sink the hips down into your imaginary chair and round the spine again. Keep the hips low, look forward, reach forward like you're holding a box. Waistline back, hips stay low, ankles and knees draw in. And over the course of, a decade of practice, which is, approximately what the amount of time some of us have been practicing together, how has your relationship to these moments, these practices changed over time? Push your feet down, lift your hips up, fold forward, open up the back of the body. Inhale, fingertips to the shins, shoulders on the back. Exhale, fold deeply in, hips high, head low. Inhale, push down with the feet, grow tall, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, push down with the hands, draw the palms together at heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, and dive forward. Inhale, fingertips to the shins. And exhale, sink the hips down, round the spine, chin to chest, forehead towards or to the knees. Inhale, arms forward like you're holding a box. Waistline back, keep the hips low, ankles and knees in. And then curl the chest and gaze up. Reach the fingertips towards the sky. Draw the biceps back towards the ears, back behind the ears. What a fierce chair we have chosen to sit in. The seat of our yoga practice. Reach up, look up, curl in the upper back. Keep the hips low, squeeze the ankles and knees in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand up. Push through the feet, lift through the arms, palms together. Exhale, hands gather at heart center. Thumbs rest to the sternum, sternum lifts to the thumbs, collarbones broad. Soften the face, maybe close the eyes. Slow and deepen your breathing. Arms to your sides, step to the top of your mat. Okay, let's start with left foot forward, right leg lunges back. So, what are we doing here? So, the length, let's go the length of a warrior one pose. So not as long with the legs as we do for a typical lunge, but we're gonna keep the back heel off the floor. Let's start with the hands on the hips, squaring the hips towards the top of the mat. And with straight legs. Lift into the right glutes. Straighten the left leg. Lift into the left kneecap. And then exhale, bend the left leg. Keep the right leg straight. Hips and chest squared forward. Push the left leg straight. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the left knee forward to a square. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Keep that right leg straight and strong. Inhale up. And exhale, bend the left knee to a square. Okay. Bend the right knee to or towards the floor. Inhale, lift the right knee up, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend the right knee down towards the floor. Inhale, right knee lifts. Exhale, bend the right knee towards or to the floor. Inhale, right leg lifts, tone the right glutes. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, right leg up. One more, exhale, right knee down. Inhale, right leg up. Okay, look to the top of your mat and then step the right foot forward and left leg back. So hips squared forward, left knee, left leg straight, left heel lifted. Press into the right leg. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend the right knee to a square. Inhale, straighten the right leg, lift into the kneecap with the leg straight, spine tall. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Pushing through the right big toe ball mount. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the right knee forward. And then exhale, bend the left knee maybe to the floor, maybe to a hover. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend the left knee down. Inhale, straighten the left leg, tone the left glutes. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten, two more. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, straighten. Step the left foot forward. And we're going to do our tree pose. Okay, so don't we all love tree pose? I love tree pose, and I'm loving it more and more as I learn a little bit more about trees. Ground through the right foot, turn your left knee, left toes out, place the left foot to the inside of the right calf or the inside of the right thigh. Or take that lotus leg. Take that lotus leg if you're feeling it. Grow a flower on your tree, you know. Press your left foot into your right thigh, creating that stability at your center, at your trunk. And then bring the palms together at the heart. Create that length of the spine, the broadness of your collarbones, the openness of your chest. And if and when you're ready, you can take the branches of your tree skyward. And then, be your tree. So I think I mentioned on this class that my husband and I have been watching the Cosmos series, and I think it's called Possible Worlds is the name of the series. Watched an amazing episode last night about it featured bees, and it also featured the concept of the mycelial network, which I've kind of touched on in this class before when we're doing tree pose. And it's this discovery that sounds like it's only been discovered in the last decade or two. Something that, when I was in grade school, I don't think we learned about because it wasn't understood, or it's not very understood now, I don't think. But it's this idea of the connection between trees through their root system and through the mycelial network, which I understand is kind of hinges on fungus, on mushrooms. So the narrator, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I wanted to write down this quote, but I didn't. But the quote was something like that the mycelial network is like the trees' internet, the underground internet for trees. So I love this idea while practicing this pose together over the internet, online,
that we are all connected somehow, like in this invisible network. We are connected and we protect one another as trees do. That trees communicate through this network, and they can send protection to one another. They watch out for each other. So, so this is a cool pose. I think one thing that we do in our yoga practice is create empathy for other life on this planet, for one another as human beings, but also for the myriad of other forms of life that surround us and that support us. And hopefully we find a way to support them as well. Okay, arms down. That tree was on tree time. It was a long one. Okay, ground through the left foot, and we'll plant our second tree, our sister tree. Push down through the left leg. Feel that strength and confidence in the left leg. Turn the right knee, right toes out. Place the foot to the inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh. Or take that, bloom your tree into lotus. Bring your hands to the heart. Start there, send down those roots. Get connected to the fungus. I'm just laughing because it's really a big pain to have fungus growing on your feet. I don't know if anybody has experienced the athlete's foot syndrome. Ooh, some bird just thudded off the roof. Looks like I want to name that bird. Okay, maybe grow your branches so a bird can nest in your branches. I think it's a cedar waxwing. I have a game I play with my kids. It's called Bird Bingo, and it has all the different, it's mainly birds that would be found in North America. So I'm trying to be a better bird identifier. Reach up through the fingertips, broaden the chest, expand through the inner thigh of the right leg. Get on tree time. So things go a little slower on tree time. Hands back, down, leg down. And we'll do some sun salutations. So take any props off to the side of your mat. Stand at the top of your mat, either with your feet together or apart in mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale and flow forward. Fingertips to the floor, release the head. Inhale, fingertips to the shins, lift halfway. And as you exhale, plant the hands on either side of your feet and lunge the right leg back. Low lunge, inhale here. And exhale, plant the hands, send the left leg back into plank position. Inhale in your plank position, and exhale, lower down either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, upward dog or cobra, lift into your back bend, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, push the hands down and forward, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in and out. Get acquainted with your dog. In breath and out. Last biggest breath in and full breath out. As you inhale, next the right leg's going to lift for a 3-legged dog. Look to the top of your mat. And exhale, lunge your right foot forward. Inhale in your lunge, broaden the collarbones. And exhale, step the left foot forward, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, shoulders on the back. Exhale and fold in. Inhale, push with the feet, lift the arms overhead, look up. Exhale, push the hands down and draw the palms at heart center. Inhale, sweep up, look up, palms touch. Exhale and dive forward. Inhale, rise halfway. And exhale, fold in, plant the hands, send the left leg back, lunge. Inhale in the lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, right leg back. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, open the chest, tone the legs. Exhale, lead with the hips, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in and out. Bigger breath in and full breath out. Biggest breath in and push it out, down through the heels, out through the hands, release the head. Inhale, left leg lifts. Look to the top of your mat. Exhale, lunge your left foot forward between your hands. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step forward, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold deeply in. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up, palms touch. Exhale, push with the hands, gather the palms together at heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, right leg back, and hold. Stay in the lunge, keep breathing, shoulders away from the ears. Scissor the legs in, draw back through the sides of the waistline to come on up, sweep the arms out, up and overhead. Lunge pose, arms overhead, lifting out the sides of the waistline, grow tall. And exhale, open the chest up to the left wall, arms down to the height of the shoulders. Inhale, square the chest forward. Exhale, open the chest towards the left 2. Inhale, open center. Exhale, open left 3. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, open left 4. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, open left 5. And then attempt to wrap the left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Sweep the right arm along the right ear and lean back, look up beyond the right tricep muscles towards the ceiling. Or keep the chest open to the left with the arms at the height of the shoulders. Lunge deeply into the left leg, weight in the heel, tone the right leg, lift into the right glutes, lengthen along the right side body, soften the edges of the mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center, straighten the right leg. Bring the hands to the hips, and then turn the toes to turn to the right. So your wide-legged stance facing, I don't know what you're facing. I'm facing the computer though. So you're in a wide stance, tone the muscles of the legs, hands to the hips, shoulders roll back, elbows towards the back wall, lift and lengthen along the front of the torso, tilt the gaze up, and then exhale, hinge at the hips to lean forward. Plant the wrists below the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears, halfway folded, and then exhale, fold all the way in. Walking your hands back. Maybe fingertips line up with your toes. Maybe hands walk all the way back so the fingertips are aligned with the heels. Either way, fingertips pointing the same direction that the toes are pointing. Elbows bent at a 90-degree angle. Elbows over the wrist. Extend the crown of your head towards the floor as you tone the muscles of the legs. Keep your connection with the floor through the feet, active and aware. And now begin to create a connection to the earth through the crown of the head. If you have a prop handy, you might grab a prop in the form of a blanket or a block or a combination of the two, and then push the head into that prop. Create a sense of grounding and stability through the crown of the head. And then as you do this, become aware again of the back body in this forward folded shape. Energy drawing up the back sides of the legs, and energy cascading down the length of the spine, down into the earth through the crown of the head.
And then imagine you could reverse that flow so that as you push down through the head, you're drawing up the back of the spine, up into the hips, and down the length of the legs. So as you consider transitioning from this shape into a headstand pose, that's kind of how the energy flow might, like how the charge of a magnet can flip. So now as you push the hands into the floor, lift the shoulders away from the ear, you create that strong connection with the hands and the floor, the head and the floor, rising up the legs. So coming into a tripod headstand, pushing up through the heels, pushing up through the tailbone. And then if you have taken the headstand, bring the feet back down, flip the magnet, so that makes sense. So draw that energy up the backs of the legs once again, pushing down through the crown of the head. What's that? I am not, I am not trained as a scientist, although I'm a lover of science, an admirer of scientific discovery. But anyway, I believe this is an accurate concept of flipping the polarity. I just came up with it now. Okay, so we're flipping that connection back to the earth through the feet as we walk the hands forward, wrists below the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears, and then hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling, draw back through the sides of the waistline, come on back up, and then we're again going to turn the left toes forward, lift the left heel, come back to the lunge, sweep the arms overhead, look up, reach up, and then hands frame the front foot, press back, plank position, exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, inhale, curl up, exhale, press back, downward facing dog, 3 breaths in, and full breath out. In breath, and release. Biggest breath in, and full breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts, and look to the top of your mat. Exhale, lunge your right foot forward. I realize this is not going to be completely congruent, our approach to these two sides. Accepted. Chest opens forward. Inhale, draw back through the sides of the waistline. Lift the arms overhead to your lunge. Draw up through the waistline, out through the fingertips. Keep the legs strong. Connection with the back leg, toning the left glutes. Inhale. Exhale, open the chest towards the left, arms down to the height of the shoulders. Inhale, center, 4 more. Exhale, open right. Inhale, center. Exhale, open right, 3. Inhale, center. Exhale, open right, 4. Inhale, center. Exhale, open right, 5. Either keep the arms like this or sweep the right arm to the left thigh. So grabbing the outer left thigh with the right hand, left arm along the left ear, reach up through the fingertips and maybe start to lean back, creating this length from the left waistline through the left fingertips. And again, option to turn the gaze up beyond the left arm towards the sky as you lean back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms back to center, and then turn on the toes. All 10 toes point the opposite direction. I'm going to turn around just because I don't want to have my butt facing you for 5 minutes. Turn your toes in slightly. Tone the muscles of the legs. Hands to the hips. Elbows towards the back wall. Collarbones broad. Turn the gaze up. Inhale. Exhale and hinge at the hips. Plant the wrists below the shoulders. And then bring your left palm below the face. Take your right hand to your low back as though you're placing a glass of orange juice on your low back. I was like, what can I say other than water? So orange juice, you really don't, spilling water, no big deal, but spilling orange juice, that's going to be sticky. So don't spill that orange juice. The stakes are higher today. So place the orange juice and then keep a hand on the orange juice. You really don't want to have to stop your practice to clean up a bunch of sticky orange juice. So keep your hand on that glass of orange juice as you begin to shift your left ribs towards the right wall. Try to shift your left shoulder, or your right shoulder on top of your left shoulder, even with that hand on your glass. Okay, when you're sure you're not going to spill that glass of orange juice, then you can take the hand up to the sky. Reach your right arm straight, stack the shoulders, look up, broaden the chest. And if you are like, so what this pose, you can turn your right palm the other direction and then try to grab the top of the left thigh with the right hand. Shifting the left ribs towards the right wall, stacking the shoulders as you look up. Push back with the thighs, keep the hips level, extend forward with the crown of the head. And then if you have the bind, unbind, look down, right hand to the floor below the face, left hand now stabilizing the glass of orange juice. So the glass of orange juice, just keeping your hips level, keeping you mindful. Push the thighs back, lift the kneecaps up, and begin to revolve your right ribs towards the left, revolving around the central channel of the spine. Right shoulder away from the ear, press back through the thighs, ground through the feet. Can you try to lift into the arches of your feet? Can you? That's a challenging idea for me. Okay, so if you're sure you're not going to spill that glass of orange juice, sweep the left arm up. And if you're saying, what did we say before? No big deal. What up with this pose? Turn your palm back and then try to grab the top of the right thigh. Wherever you're at. A, B, B, always be breathing. Then look down, unwind, hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling, draw back through the sides of the waistline, come on back up, turn the left toes forward, lift onto the right toes, come into the lunge, sweep the arms overhead, and then exhale, frame the front foot, step back, plank position, inhale and plank, exhale, lower down, method of your choice, inhale, curl up, method of your choice, exhale, press back, downward facing dog, 3 breaths in, and full breath out. Bigger breath in, and more complete breath out. Biggest breath in, and let it go. Bring your knees to the floor, and we are going to practice our inversion. So I've been missing headstand. I haven't taught it in a few weeks, and boy, I love it. So let's go back to headstand. And I know most of you have been doing this with me for a while, I'm assuming. I'm picturing Jason and Suzanne out there, and someone else. So, so whoever else is out there, Ava, Mary, I don't know, Karen could be here. That would be lovely. Whoever you are, it's lovely that you're here, and we're going to do some headstand together. So set up with your fingers interlaced, elbows shoulder width distance apart. You know what? I always interlace my fingers in the same darn way for headstand. So if you've never thought about that before, see about changing it up. In my experience, it's like night and day. It's a totally different thing to switch the interlace of the fingers for me. So, be curious about that, or don't. Maybe be curious about that some other time. We're going to set up with the forearm table, and then tuck the toes and lift the hips up. Keep the head up as you walk the feet in to lift the hips higher, and situate the shoulders directly over the elbows, drawing the shoulders away from your ears. And now we'll tuck the chin towards the chest, Lengthen the crown of the head towards the floor and just kind of lower the head down to the floor, possibly onto a pad. Cupping the back of the head between the heels of the hands, and then keeping the head and shoulders as they are, perhaps walking the feet a little bit further forward. So we're going to try the floating leg today. Right foot towards center, left leg lifts straight up and back, just as though you're doing a forearm dog pose, three-legged dolphin pose. So left leg lifts, lifts, lifts until that right foot just elevates off the floor. And then right leg comes to meet the left. Right leg stays lifted as left leg slowly lowers down. Down, down, down. Left foot down, and then right foot comes back to meet it. Right leg goes up, 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 up until left leg floats up. Legs meet at the top. And then see about this one. Oh my gosh, this one's hard. Draw back through the sides of the waistline. Let me say, this one's hard, but it is so fun. Okay, waistline back, lengthen up through the feet, and then begin to lower the legs down in tandem. Maybe they come to a 90-degree angle. Maybe the hips stay lifted and the feet come all the way to the floor, and then legs slowly, with control, lift back up. Oh my gosh, so flippin' fun. Okay, do you want to do that again? I'm going to do it again just to energize you guys. I'm sending my energy down through, I'm an upside down tree, sending my prana through the mycelial network to you guys. Okay, just talking nonsense. Okay, waistline back, lower the legs down. Oh my gosh, legs apart, one at a time. We try this togetherness. Feet down, oh, sides of the waistline back. Squeeze the legs, lift the heels. So this is assuming that you feel very safe and secure in your headstand practice. If you do not feel safe and secure in your headstand practice, work against the wall, and you don't need to do any of this stuff. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time, just because that's how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling the Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical energy of my birth. Okay, come on down with the legs. Okay. Then hang out in your headstand. Hang out in your headstand. When you get to that point where you feel strong and you feel aligned, and you feel supported in this pose, there is a little bit of that feeling of just hanging out here. You're like, okay, now it's time to figure out my grocery list. Okay, legs down, one at a time, or feet to the wall, or knees bent to the chest. Get down. Okay, knees to the floor. Point the toes, hug the heels in, send the hips back to the heels, extend the arms forward, release the forehead and the forearms down to the floor in a child's pose. Experience the aftermath of your inversion practice. What do you feel? Where do you feel? Be on this exploratory path of yoga. And I'm thinking that to some degree this commitment to this practice is kind of an idea of remaining curious, being open to the idea that there is more to know, more to explore, more to be discovered. That there is this unfolding that is coming along with the practice. Sweep the arms back, let the heads of the arm bones roll forward. Be curious. How did that slight change in the pose, arms forward to arms back, change the experience of the body? And perhaps through that experience of the physical change, was there emotional or thinking, shift in your thinking that came along with that? Okay, so roll up along the spine to come into a rock pose. So we're transitioning from the inversion where the hips are over the chest is over the head, and now back to reversing the poles again. So head over the heart over the center of the pelvis, palms on the thighs, shoulders released down the back, collarbones broad. So this, I know many of you have heard this before, but this, I feel like this is just a really fantastic posture to arrive in, this rock pose. And rock coming with all this idea of, again, this idea of like very, very ancient history, that there is mystery, there is history encapsulated in this shape, in this rock, in this practice of emulating the rock. Push your way up into a kneeling position. Toes are pointed back, preparing for camel. You might have those blocks at the outsides of your ankles. Point the toes back, ground through the knees, place the hips over the knees, and let's either bring the hands into the back pockets of our yoga pants. Wink, wink. Yoga pants don't have back pockets typically, but that's the idea, pushing the fingertips down towards the floor, creating this length in the tailbone as the glutes tone up into the palms. Or you can turn the fingertips towards the ceiling. This just helps with the rotation of the shoulders externally as the heart lifts. Lengthen the tailbone down, lift the chest, look up. Again, continue to lengthen down through the tailbone as you ground through the knees, ground through the feet, push the shins downward. Collarbones lift, heart ascends, looking back, curling back into the unknown. So hands can stay on the hips for this first one, or you can reach back for those blocks. And if you find those blocks, bring your thumbs to the outsides of the blocks, fingers to the insides of the blocks. So inner elbows are turning out to the sides of the room, lifting the armpit chest skyward, curling the back body. And again, as I said, I'm a fan of releasing my head back. That just feels good to me. If it does not feel good, if it creates pain, then I would avoid it. Keep the head suspended. Okay, so hands on the blocks or fingertips to the heels, opening up the front of the body. And again,
This can be sought gradually. So first the hands on the hips, then the hands on the blocks, then maybe hands onto the heels. Push the knees down, lengthen the tailbone, open up the front body, and ABB, always be breathing. Always be noticing. Always be curious. That's the ABC. Always be curious. Okay, hands to hips. Hips forward, ribs forward, chest forward. Head comes up last. Knees together. Inner heels together. Sit back on the heels. Return to the rock. Palms on the thighs, shoulders down the back. Eyes softly open or closed. Okay, let's do another one. It's camel day. Point your toes back, take your feet and knees hip width distance apart. Have your blocks. Hands in the back pockets or fingertips turn up towards the shoulders. Tone the glutes as the tailbone lengthens down. Lift along the front of the pelvic crest. Roll the shoulders back. Turn the gaze up. Lift the heart. The higher the heart, the longer the spine. The taller the spine, the more space you have to curl back. Look back, hands to blocks, question mark. Hands to heels. Head suspended, head released. Feeling good? Having fun? Okay, hands to hips, ribs, chest, head comes forward, knees together, feet together, hips to the heels, palms to the thighs, back to the rock. Okay, it's camel day. Gotta do another camel. Knees apart, feet apart, toes point back. So either as we've done, start with the hands on the hips, lean back, go to the blocks, go to the heels, or big challenge today, let's get physical. Take the right arm up, lengthen the tailbone down, lift out of the waistline, turn the gaze up, take the right arm behind the ear, left hand can stay on the hip. This would be great to do with a partner, so if you've got a partner there, you might take turns. So the partner would take a hand to the back of the chest, just as I'm demonstrating my hand going to the back of the chest, lifting there as you curl back, look back, curl back, look back, and then a little bit of the hips back as you reach back with the right fingertips, and then come on back up with the chest. Okay, switch hands. Left hand to your own back or your partner's hand to the back of your heart. Left arm reaches up, lifting out of the waistline. Look up. Left arm back. Look back, curl back. Look back, curl back. Look back, curl back.
And then a little give to the hips as you look back, touch down with the left fingertips, and come on back up. So you could just watch this, or you could be doing the camel, or you can be doing this right along with me. Arms at your sides, shoulders roll back, palms reach forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up, cross the thumbs, look up, arms back behind the ears, curl the heart, ground the feet, ground the knees, press the shins down, lengthen the tailbone, lift with the heart, look back, curl back, look back, curl back, look back, curl back, hands touch down. Okay, fingertips point towards the toes, push the hands down, wait for it. Left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor, come on up. Oh my gosh, we just transitioned from camel into a wheel pose. Can we go back? Can we go back? Point the right toes, bend the right knee to the floor. Point the left toes, bend the left knee to the floor. Push with the hands, come on back up. Okay, that was very surprising, was it not? Knees together, heels together, sink the hips towards the heels. I bet you didn't know that was coming, because we've never done that before in here in my in my house. So just let it settle. We're gonna try it again. Right? Right, we're gonna try it again. Palms to the thighs. Neutralize. Okay, last time. Push up. So now you know what's coming, right? We're going to attempt this transition from camel to wheel and back again. So you can stay in the camel. You can keep practicing the strength and the confidence to go back, to touch the fingertips to the floor, or just start that process of leaning back without the support of the hands. Okay. Here we go. Arms overhead. Lift up out of the waistline. Grow tall through the sides of the body. Arms back behind the ears. Tilt the gaze up. Arms back. Heart lifts. Heart lifts. Gaze back. Arms back. Gaze back. Release the hips back a little bit to touch the hands down. Turn the fingertips towards the toes. And then one foot to the floor. Other foot to the floor. Heels down, knees hip width distance, lengthen through the tailbone, straighten the arms, look between the hands. What? That's what I say to my kids all the time. What? Exclamation mark, question mark. What? How did we get here? And then bend the right knee to the floor, left knee to the floor, launch, push down with the shins, launch back up, and come back to rock. Hips to the heels, palms on the thighs, shoulders down the back. Okay. Palms on the thighs, inhale, pull the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, begin to round the spine. Slowly tilt the chin towards the chest, pull the shoulders forward, tuck the tailbone in, and inhale, chest forward, gaze up, tailbone tilts back, pelvis rocks forward. Exhale, rock the pelvis gently, gingerly back around the spine. So it's like cat and cow from a seated position. And then you might take your awareness to different parts of the spine. So especially this rocking of the pelvis forward and back. So often we experience some something. So often we experience an unnecessary load in the low back and our back bends.
So as I said, be ginger here with the rocking of the spine, the kind of creating the space in the low back again. Okay, come back to the rock, arms overhead, cross the thumbs, grow tall out of the waistline as your hips stay rooted. Exhale, fold, hinge forward at the hips, head and hands touch down at relatively the same time. Draw back through the sides of the waistline. Come on back up. Exhale, to hinge, to fold, head and hands touch down. Keep the arms by the ears as you come back up. One more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold and stay down. Hands touch down, head touches down, and arms sweep back. Grab the outsides of the ankles, thumbs outside, fingers to the insides of the heels, and then tilt your chin towards your chest. Draw your forehead towards or to your knees, keeping the head on the mat. Then begin to kick your hands into your heels into your hands, lifting your hips again gingerly up towards the ceiling, and then creating a deeply rounded spine. Belly button in towards the back body, hips towards the ceiling. I think this might be different depending on your proportions, but you might have the experience of your arms being pulled taut, being pulled straight, so that the heads of the arm bones are drawing forward and the shoulders are pulling apart. And then lower the hips back down, push down with the hands to come up. Once again, become the rock with all its mysteries. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up, cross the thumbs, grow tall. Exhale, hinge forward, keeping the hips low, head and hands down. Draw back through the sides of the waistline as you inhale to come up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come up. And exhale, last time. Fold down, stay down, head down, arms sweep back, grab the feet, fingers to the inside, thumbs to the outside, push the knees down, tuck the chin towards the chest, forehead towards or to the knees, push with the feet, lift with the hips, round the spine, belly button towards the back body, rabbit pose. Heels down, press the thighs. Once more. Back to the rock. Sweep your legs forward. And we will come to staff pose, Dandasana. So extend your legs forward. You might sit on some height, whether it be in the form of a blanket, a block, or just something. Chair. Draw the flesh of your buttocks back and apart. Get a good connection between your sits bones and that surface beneath them. Reach through the heels, pull back through the toes, hands along your sides, so along the sides of the hip. If you're long torsoed, short arms. If you're
short torso, long arms. Hands might be behind the hips to get that same lift out of the hips. Lengthen the spine. This reminds me that this pose reminds me that my daughter is about to turn 6. Does that blow anyone's mind? But anyway, I was thinking of when she was an infant, and if you've ever seen an infant, they're very floppy. They can't hold their heads up, and most of them cannot do that. There's occasionally an infant that can hold his head up. Anyway, but they're pretty floppy. They just haven't developed this muscle tone to lift that big old dome up. So even though this seems like a fairly, a fairly passive shape, you're always using this strength in any upright position just to keep your spine tall, your shoulders pulled back. There's a lot of core strength involved in lifting out of the hips and keeping the head upright. So don't dismiss this. Take your right hand behind your right knee, draw your heel in towards your hip. Keep a fist width distance between your right inner foot and your left inner thigh. Take your left hand by your left hip, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, maybe even look up, and then fold to the inside of the left thigh and reach for the outside of the left calf, ankle, heel, whatever you can reach. And then as you draw the torso over the left leg, hug the right leg in towards the right shoulder, in towards the right ribs. Okay. Then sweep the right arm around the front of the right shin. So hug the shin in, fold forward to the best of your ability, reach the right arm out to the right, and then wrap the right elbow around the outside of the right leg. So depending on how deep you can fold forward and how much you can pull that thigh in, it's going to determine whether you need a strap or not. So I'm grabbing a strap here in my right hand, and then I'm going to take the left arm back. So if you can clasp the hands, do. If you can't reach the hands, use your strap as an arm extender. Shoulders on the back. Chest reaches over the left leg. Maybe look towards those left toes. Pull the left toes back. Looking towards my cat here. Shin reaches towards the toes. Toes pull back. And then release the head down. So if you were really folded deeply and the shoulders really had a lot of space here, you could grab the left wrist with the right hand. And then do you want the face on the shin, or do you want to bring the chin towards the chest and round in the upper spine? I find that those are both interesting and effective ways to practice this shape. So do one or the other. Right outer hip wraps towards the floor, so likely the right hip is going to unroot. Just keep the idea of rooting back towards the earth with the right hip, even if it is not touching down. Okay. Unbind. Push your way back up. Why the heck not? Let's do an arm balance. We're just getting physical today, right? Interlace your fingers around your right foot. Lift your right heel to the height of your knee. Pull your right knee back. and then lift the right heel up. So we're going to take Eka Hasta Bhujasana, if that rings a bell. We're going to lift the right shin up over the right shoulder. You can use the right thumb to lift the what is it called, flesh and muscle of the calf high up onto the right shoulder, and then clamp the right heel towards the right hip. So you're drawing the right leg in, and then you're pulling the heel down, like you're securing the leg over your shoulder like the strap of a backpack. And then hands are on either side of the left thigh. Spread the fingers, and it's very helpful here if you have the hands on blocks. So if you have blocks, you might take a moment to get them. I'm going to test without. Make the left leg straight and strong. So consider the left leg as just one solid straight line, and keeping it that way, you're just going to lift it all in one movement. Draw back through the sides of the waistline, push down with the hands, and come on up. Eka Hasta Bhujasana. Little surprise arm balance here. And then lower the hips back down and extend the right leg forward, back through Dandasana, staff pose. Thinking of a staff. Thinking of, does Gandalf the Grey or the Gandalf the White, he has a staff, right? And that's like, it's kind of like a wand. It's a way to wield power. Okay, grab the left hand behind the left knee, draw the left knee in and up. Take a fist width between your inner foot and inner thigh. Lift through the chest, lengthen the left arm by the left ear, reach up, and then fold to the inside of the left leg. Grab the outside of the right calf, ankle, or foot. Pull the chest, pull the torso long over the right leg. Maybe look at those right toes. Pull the right toes back to your face. Maybe get distracted by a cat. You know, it happens. And then draw the left thigh in towards the left shoulder. Reach the left arm out, and then wrap the left arm around the front of the left shin. Palm faces out, and then use the strap, or don't, if you don't need it. Grab the hands or use the strap to extend the arms. Drape the torso over the right leg, pull the right toes back towards your face, draw the shoulders away from the ears, and then keep the crown of the head reaching towards the foot, or tilt the chin to the chest, bring the forehead towards or to the leg. And then the ABC, the always be curious. I found this is typically we encounter these seated postures, these introspective shapes at the tail end of the asana practice. I have done these poses without much warm-up, and this pose in particular I found to be a very, very different experience without having the spinal warm-up leading up to it. So that can be a way to be curious, to reignite curiosity about your practice, just to do the sequences in a new order and really recognize how the practice builds, how the shapes relate to one another. Okay, unbind and then push your way up, and we have that Eka Hasta Bhujasana on the second side. So lift the left foot, interlace the fingers around the sole of the foot, push the foot into the hands, pull the knee back. So as the knee draws back, it just comes to the inside of the left ribs. Push and pull, and then with the right hand, lift the left heel higher than the knee, and begin to negotiate the left shoulder underneath the left calf, using the left thumb to bring the left calf muscle up onto the left shoulder. And then pull the heel down towards the hip. So you're pulling on your backpack strap in the form of your left leg. And then hands frame the right thigh, maybe on the floor, maybe on blocks. Right leg ramrod straight, waistline back, and then push down with the hands. Lift through the sides of the waistline. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's all I could do it. Maybe you're still up there. And come back when you're ready to your staff pose. Wield your staff. Become this conduit of energy, of prana, of power. Shoulders back, crown of the head lifts, and let's delve forward. Stay grounded through the sits bones, reach through the feet, and then fold the front body over the legs, maybe walking the hands alongside the legs, maybe grab the outsides of the feet, the shins, the ankles. Again, this pose, do it cold sometimes. Don't push it, but, with curiosity, with care, you might attempt this pose without the warm up, and really notice how different this pose feels. Okay, I'm going to present the 3-breath challenge. Stay conscious with your breath, with the pose for 3 breaths. After you've completed those 3 rounds of breath, take hold of the outsides of the feet or legs, pull the chest forward, curl the gaze skyward, open the throat, roll the shoulders back, and then walk your way back up through Dandasana and move any props off to the side. Oh my gosh, as usual, I just took up a lot of time doing yoga. Time well spent, certainly, but as you probably know, I do it every week. I gotta call my mom after this class, which always results in a good conversation. I love that I get to do this yoga before I talk to my mom. Grab your knees and then rock your lower back from side to side as you push your knees into your hands. Transition to happy baby. Draw the knees up towards the armpits, grab the outside edges of the feet, and rock side to side. Feet together, widen the knees, lengthen the low back, press the feet into the hands. And then finally, gather the knees together, wrap your arms around your legs, tuck your chin to your chest, forehead towards or to the knees, tailbone tucked, less of the back body on the floor, squeeze in, and then find your way to your preferred restive, supportive relaxation pose. So I didn't mean to alarm you about the time, but I hope you weren't alarmed. But I really emphasize this idea of creating ritual around your savasana practice, so that you feel welcome, that you feel safe in this space, and that you give it some reverence. That there is something, there's something to this this practice of resting after the practice of the poses. So find a shape that feels supportive. Invite your body to rest in that shape. And then last week, I'll present again this idea that we rest at the end of a day. So the day has a cycle of waking and, maybe working, and then the nighttime invites us back to the rest, a chance for the body to recuperate, as well as the mind. And I was considering the thought that the mind goes into this dream state and is using this opportunity to process a lot of the information that we have encountered over the course of the day. So you can kind of consider that the practice has a cycle. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And at the end, there is rest, and there is this opportunity for recuperation, for processing. And we do this, sleep is an unconscious state, although we can be, we can train ourselves to be more aware of our dreams, and even train ourselves to be more in control of our dream state. Beside the point, really. The idea here is that we are in a state of wakeful rest. So as we transition from doing, not only moving the body, but flowing through all of these instructions in the mind, that we transition now into just a state of being, of reflection. You might engage with the idea or the image of a reflective pool. Body of water that has reached a certain level of stillness. Where the fluctuations from beneath the water and from the air, from the space outside the water, have dissipated to the point where the water creates this neutral sheen, this unbroken reflective surface. send ripples of movement back into the fingers, perhaps the toes. Slowly gather the heels towards the hips to bend the knees. Let's today extend the left arm along the left ear and roll onto the left side of the body. Transitioning from our practice into this fetal position. Reconnect with your breath as you push your way up into a seated position. Perhaps cross your legs at the ankles and bring your hands together at your heart center. We'll chant Om one single time to close today's practice. Exhale and inhale. Thank you for your presence, your patience, and your devotion to your own yoga path. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys. That was a lovely opportunity to connect on the network. So thank you for being here, and reach out if you have any comments, questions, concerns, complaints, any other C words. I will be here next week, and I think I'm finally going to do that outdoor class this week. I tried to do it a couple weeks ago, but it turned out to be rather cold. So anyway, get in touch if you're interested. No pressure.